It is not death that a man should fear, but he should fear never beginning to live. Marcus Aurelius. Where does your consciousness go after death? Is there life beyond this physical body? Can we really understand what happens when we die? Hello everyone, and welcome back to the Son.Mindfulness channel. Thank you for joining us today. Please stay with us until the end of this video. Many people feel afraid or confused about death. We often avoid thinking about what happens next. This creates fear and uncertainty in life. But what if there is a clear answer? What if understanding consciousness and rebirth can bring peace? Today we will explore Buddhist teachings about consciousness after death. You will learn how karma shapes your journey beyond this life. We will reveal the secrets of the intermediate state called Bardo, and you'll discover the ultimate goal, Nirvana, liberation from suffering. Son.Mindfulness is here to guide you on this mindful journey. Our channel offers wisdom and practical tools for peace and awareness. If you find value in this video, please support us by subscribing. Your support helps us create more meaningful content. We wish you health, peace, happiness, and good fortune in all your days. Are you ready to uncover the mysteries of life and death? Stay tuned as we dive deep into these profound truths. Let's begin this journey together. Part 2. What is consciousness in Buddhism? Have you ever stopped to wonder what consciousness really is? Is it something fixed inside you like a permanent soul or spirit? Or is it more like a flowing energy that changes from moment to moment? In Buddhism, consciousness is not viewed as a permanent soul. There is no unchanging self or essence inside us that stays the same forever. Instead, consciousness is like a river, a continuous flow that never stops moving. Imagine standing by a river. You see water flowing steadily. The river looks the same, but the water is never the same. Each drop moves on, replaced by new water. This is how Buddhist teachings describe consciousness, always moving, always changing. The consciousness you experience right now is linked to the consciousness of your past moments. But it is never exactly the same. It's a process, a series of moments connected by cause and effect. One well-known Buddhist monk, Thich Nhat Hanh, compared consciousness to a flame passed from one candle to another. The flame on the second candle is not the same flame as the first, but the light continues to shine. Have you noticed how your thoughts and feelings change from one moment to the next? Sometimes you feel happy, sometimes sad, sometimes calm or anxious. This shows that your self is not a fixed thing, but something fluid and changing. This idea of consciousness as an ever-changing flow can be hard to accept. We often feel like we have a solid, unchanging I inside us. But understanding this helps us see why death is not the end of everything. Because consciousness continues flowing even after the body dies. Let me share a story about a famous historical figure, Guan Yu. He was a great general in ancient China, known for his bravery and loyalty. After his death, people believed his spirit continued because of his strong character and intentions. In Buddhism, this story illustrates how consciousness carries the imprint of our character and actions. Our inner mind or consciousness is shaped by who we are and what we do. Now consider this question. If consciousness is like a flowing river, what happens to that flow when the body dies? Where does it go? How does it continue without a physical form? According to Buddhist teachings, this flow of consciousness does not stop. Instead, it moves on to a new existence or life. This movement is guided by karma, the natural law of cause and effect. Karma means that every action we take, good or bad, leaves a mark. These marks influence what happens to our consciousness after death. If we live with kindness and compassion, our consciousness flows into a happier, better rebirth. If we act with anger or greed, our next experience may be more difficult. So consciousness is not a static soul trapped inside a body. It is a living, dynamic process shaped by our actions and intentions. Do you see how this view changes the way we think about ourselves? If there is no permanent self, then who are you really? How does this idea affect how you live your life today? Understanding consciousness as a flowing stream helps us embrace change. It teaches us to let go of the illusion of a fixed self. This can reduce our fear of death because we realize that consciousness continues. This leads naturally to our next topic, death and the transition of consciousness. In the next section, we will explore what happens when the body dies. We will learn how consciousness moves on and what role karma plays in this process. This knowledge can bring comfort and peace to anyone facing the mystery of death. Are you curious to know what happens in the moments after death? How does consciousness find its way to a new life? Stay with me as we uncover these profound truths. Part 3. Death and the transition of consciousness. Have you ever wondered what really happens when we die? Is death simply the end of everything, or is there more beyond the physical body? In Buddhism, death is not the final stop. It is a doorway, a transition from one state to another. While our body stops working, our consciousness continues on. Think about this. When you fall asleep and wake up, your body rests, but your mind still flows. In death, something similar happens, but on a deeper level. The physical body dies, but consciousness moves beyond it. This idea can bring comfort, especially for those afraid of death. If consciousness continues, then death is more like a journey than an ending. But what exactly happens during this transition? How does consciousness move on? Buddhism teaches that when the body dies, consciousness separates from it. It leaves the physical form behind, but does not disappear. Have you ever seen the smoke rising from a fire? The smoke drifts away, changing shape, but still connected to the fire it came from. Consciousness at death is similar. It leaves the body but carries the heat of your life's actions. This heat is what we call karma. Karma is the natural law of cause and effect based on your actions, thoughts, and intentions. It shapes the next stage of your journey after death. Imagine a traveler leaving one city and moving to another. The traveler carries luggage filled with memories, habits, and karma. This luggage influences where the traveler goes and what kind of experiences they will have. In Buddhism, the next city is the next rebirth. Your consciousness takes rebirth in a new life, in a new body, influenced by your karma. But does the consciousness jump immediately to a new life? Buddhism explains that there is often an intermediate state, called the Bardo. This is a transitional phase between death and rebirth. During Bardo, consciousness experiences various visions and feelings shaped by past karma. It is like resting at a crossroads, choosing the next path based on the seeds planted in past actions. Have you ever faced a big decision in life, standing at a crossroads unsure which way to go? The Bardo is similar, a critical moment when consciousness prepares for the next life. This idea of Bardo is very important in Tibetan Buddhism, where special prayers and rituals help guide consciousness safely through this phase. It shows how even after death, the journey of consciousness is deeply connected to what we do while alive. What does this mean for you? If your consciousness carries karma and moves to a new life, how would you live differently today? Would you choose kindness, patience, and love? Or would you let anger and selfishness guide your actions? The good news is, your choices today directly influence your future experiences. Understanding death as a transition reminds us to live wisely. One inspiring story is about the great Buddhist teacher, Milarepa. He lived a difficult early life filled with mistakes and suffering. But through deep meditation and compassion, he transformed his karma. Milarepa's story shows that no matter where you start, your mind and actions can change your future path. Now, you might wonder, is there a fixed self or soul traveling through death and rebirth? In Buddhism, the answer is no. There is no permanent I that moves from one life to the next. Instead, it is a stream of consciousness, connected moment to moment by karma. Like the flame passed from candle to candle, each life is new, but linked by cause and effect. Does this idea give you a new perspective on who you are? What about your fears of death? Seeing death as a transition, not an end, can bring peace. It encourages us to prepare our mind and live with meaning. This brings us to the next important topic, karma, the law of moral cause and effect. In the next section, we will explore how karma works in detail. You'll learn how your actions shape your future and why it matters so much in the cycle of rebirth. Are you ready to dive deeper into the forces that guide consciousness after death? Let's continue this journey together. Part 4. Karma, the law of moral cause and effect. Have you ever wondered why some people seem to have good fortune while others face hardships? Is life just random chance? Or is there a deeper reason behind the events we experience? In Buddhism, the answer lies in the law of karma. Karma is a natural law, the law of moral cause and effect. Simply put, every action you take creates a result. If you plant a seed, you get a plant. If you act with kindness, kindness grows in your life. If you act with anger, difficulties arise. This law is not about punishment or reward from an outside power. It is like the law of gravity, a natural consequence of how actions work. Have you noticed how small actions can change your day? A smile can brighten someone's mood. A harsh word can cause pain. These moments add up and shape your future. One famous example is the story of Emperor Ashoka. He was a powerful ruler known for his fierce wars, but after witnessing the suffering caused by his battles, he chose to live with compassion and peace. Ashoka's karma transformed. He became a great patron of Buddhism and spread kindness throughout his empire. This shows that karma is not fixed or fatalistic. You can change your path by changing your actions. So how does karma relate to rebirth? When your consciousness moves to a new life, it carries the effects of your past actions. Good deeds create positive conditions. Negative deeds create challenges. Think about it like this. If you build a strong foundation for a house, the house will be safe and stable. If the foundation is weak, the house may crumble. Your actions are the foundation for your future life. But karma is more than just what you do. It includes your intentions and thoughts. A kind thought can plant a seed of good karma. A harmful intention can create negative karma, even if you don't act on it. Have you ever felt guilty about something you thought but didn't say? This shows how powerful the mind is in shaping karma. Living with awareness of karma encourages us to act with care. It invites us to choose compassion over anger, generosity over greed, patience over frustration. Here's a story from the life of the Buddha himself. Before enlightenment, Siddhartha Gautama lived a life of privilege. But he saw the suffering around him and asked deep questions about life and death. His practice of kindness, meditation, and wisdom created powerful karma. This karma led him to enlightenment and freedom from suffering. What about you? If karma shapes your future, what kind of seeds are you planting today? Are your actions leading toward happiness or suffering? Karma also teaches us about responsibility. We are not victims of fate. We hold the power to shape our own lives. Even if you have faced difficulties, karma offers hope. By changing your actions now, you can create a better future. How can you start? Begin with simple acts. Helping a neighbor, offering a kind word, forgiving someone. These small steps build positive karma over time. In this way, karma connects us deeply to life. It reminds us that our choices matter. Karma also links to the idea of samsara, the cycle of birth, death, and rebirth. This cycle continues as long as karma keeps producing new results. Breaking free from this cycle is the ultimate goal of Buddhism. Understanding karma can inspire you to live with meaning and mindfulness. It invites you to look at life as a journey where every action matters. As we reflect on karma, we prepare to explore the next stage, the mysterious intermediate state, or Bardo. What happens to consciousness during this time between death and rebirth? How does karma influence this critical period? In the next section, we will journey into the Bardo and discover its importance. Are you ready to continue? Part 5. The Intermediate State, Bardo. Have you ever wondered what happens to consciousness between death and rebirth? Is there a pause, or does the journey continue immediately? In Buddhist teachings, there is a special phase called the Bardo. Bardo is the intermediate state, the time between death and the next rebirth. Think of it like a traveler resting at a crossroads, choosing the next path forward. The journey does not stop at death. It moves through this in-between state. During Bardo, consciousness experiences a range of visions and feelings. These experiences are shaped by the karma collected in past lives. They can be peaceful or frightening, joyful or confusing. Have you ever had a vivid dream that felt very real? The Bardo state is somewhat like a waking dream, a transitional experience. This idea is especially important in Tibetan Buddhism. Special prayers and rituals are performed to help guide consciousness safely through Bardo. They aim to calm fears and help choose a positive rebirth. Why is the Bardo so significant? Because the mind is very open and sensitive during this time. The impressions left by karma become very clear. How consciousness reacts can influence the quality of the next life. Imagine a person facing a difficult decision in life. The pressure is high and the path forward is unclear. In Bardo, the stakes are even greater. The decision affects an entire new lifetime. This moment shows the power of our actions and mental habits. If the mind is calm and prepared, the transition can be smooth and positive. If the mind is restless or disturbed, confusion and fear may cause difficulties. Here's a story from Tibetan tradition about a wise lama named Milarepa. Before his enlightenment, Milarepa faced many challenges and struggles. But he practiced meditation deeply, training his mind to stay calm. When he died, his consciousness passed through Bardo with clarity and peace. Because of this, he was able to achieve a favorable rebirth. What can we learn from this? It reminds us to prepare our mind while we are alive. Practicing meditation and kindness helps train our consciousness for this moment. Have you ever thought about how your mind is preparing for the unknown? Are you cultivating peace and clarity in your daily life? Bardo also shows why ethical living matters so much. The seeds of karma planted now influence this transitional experience. Good deeds, loving thoughts, and mindfulness create a gentle journey. The Bardo teaches us that death is not an abrupt end. It is a meaningful passage shaped by who we are and what we have done. From this understanding, we naturally ask, what is the goal beyond rebirth? How can we break free from this cycle of birth, death, and rebirth? This leads us to the next part of our journey, the goal of liberation, Nirvana. In the next section, we will explore what Nirvana means in Buddhism. We will see how it offers freedom from suffering and the endless cycle of samsara. Are you ready to discover this ultimate path? Part 6. The goal of liberation, Nirvana. Have you ever wished for a true escape from suffering? A peace that lasts beyond this life? In Buddhism, this ultimate freedom is called Nirvana. Nirvana means the end of the cycle of birth, death, and rebirth, called samsara. Samsara is the endless loop where consciousness keeps moving from one life to another. It can bring joy, but also pain and struggle. Nirvana is the state beyond samsara. It is freedom from suffering and the causes of suffering. Imagine being free from fear, anger, and sadness. Imagine a deep peace that nothing can disturb. This is Nirvana, the complete liberation of the mind. How do we reach Nirvana? It is through understanding the true nature of reality, through letting go of attachments and desires that cause suffering. Think of holding onto a hot coal. The longer you hold it, the more you burn. Letting go brings relief. In Buddhism, clinging to desires, pride, and ignorance is like holding that hot coal. When you release them, you find peace. One famous example is the Buddha himself, Siddhartha Gautama. He lived a life of luxury but saw that suffering was everywhere. He meditated deeply and realized the truth about life and death. His awakening freed him from samsara. For those over 50, this teaching can be especially comforting. It shows that it is never too late to seek freedom. You can begin the path to nirvana right now. The path includes living ethically, practicing meditation, and developing wisdom. Each step helps the mind become clearer and freer. Do you see how this offers hope beyond the challenges of aging and loss? Nirvana is not just a distant idea. It is a reachable goal that brings meaning and peace. How does knowing about nirvana affect your view on life? Does it inspire you to live more mindfully? In the next part, we will explore how to prepare for death through mindful living and meditation. How can we cultivate peace in our daily lives to be ready for the transition? Are you ready to learn practical steps to live with greater awareness and calm? Let's continue this journey together. Part 7. Preparing for Death. Mindful Living and Meditation. Have you ever thought about how you want to face death? Many people avoid this question, but preparing for death can bring great peace in life. Buddhism teaches that how we live today affects how we experience death and what comes after. Living mindfully means being aware of each moment with kindness and calm. Have you noticed how a calm mind feels different from a restless one? When the mind is peaceful, even difficult moments become easier. Meditation is a powerful tool to train the mind. It helps us focus, calm racing thoughts, and open to compassion. One inspiring story is about the great Buddhist master, Thich Nhat Hanh. He taught that by practicing mindfulness daily, we prepare our mind for any situation. Even death becomes a natural transition. Have you tried simple breathing meditation? Just paying attention to your breath can bring calm. Living ethically also prepares us for death. Kindness, honesty, patience, these virtues shape our karma positively. Think about a tree planted today. Its roots grow strong, and it will bear good fruit tomorrow. Your actions are like seeds for your future experience. When we accept death as a natural part of life, fear can lessen. We can face death with dignity and peace. What small changes can you make today to live more mindfully? How can you bring more kindness into your daily routine? By preparing now, we set a peaceful path for the moment when consciousness moves on. This understanding leads us to the end of our journey together. In the final section, we will reflect on the lessons learned and how to live with hope and purpose. Are you ready to embrace these teachings in your life? Conclusion and life lessons. Thank you for staying with me on this journey. You have explored deep truths about consciousness, death, and rebirth. We learned that consciousness flows like a river, always moving, never fixed. We saw how death is a transition, not an end. Your consciousness moves on, shaped by your karma, the results of your actions. The intermediate state, Bardo, is a crucial time between lives. How you prepare your mind affects your journey through this phase. Nirvana offers hope, true freedom from suffering, and the cycle of samsara. It shows that peace is possible here and now, not just beyond life. Are you beginning to see life differently? How does knowing about karma change your view on your daily actions? What small steps can you take today to live with more kindness and awareness? I want to express my deep gratitude to you, dear reader. Thank you for opening your heart to these teachings. Congratulations on recognizing the value in these lessons. I encourage you to practice these ideas in your daily life. Try meditation, live ethically, and watch your mind with kindness. Your own experience is the best teacher. Please share your thoughts and questions in the comments below. How do these teachings resonate with you? What changes might you make in your life? If you found this helpful, please subscribe and support the Son.Mindfulness channel. Your support helps us create more meaningful content for you. May you be healthy, peaceful, and happy every day. May good luck and blessings follow you on your journey. Thank you again for being here. I look forward to walking this path with you. Thank you.